You're listening to Truth on Tap with host Kevin Kierstead. Kevin.
I'm 6'5", 250, and trained, so bring that shit on, bitches.
I was listening to Truth on Tap with Kevin A. Kierstead last night. I've never really called into Kevin's show or gotten into any banter to him because, to be honest with you, he's way too intellectual for me. I mean, I'm no dummy, but this guy, I don't think I can hang with him verbally in just, discussing the issues. He's a really smart guy.
That's Wes Johnson. Find him at wesjohnson.com. The greatest on-air personality to ever bless the United States of America.
He does a really good show. It's very professionally done. He's on iHeartRadio.
I can sniff out bullies from a mile away, and I love to go after them. I am not alpha male until an alpha male shows up and tries to start bossing me around. That's when the alpha male comes out in me. I'm an alfalfa male. Once an alpha male gets in my face, I'm an alfalfa male. The cowlick pops up on the back of the head.
Every once in a while, you have to go to war.
The can't rise to become high waters. I got my dukes up.
I'm gonna what do you call it, mute my mic so I don't deafen you or defecate on you. And oh shit, he made a poop noise. And then we're gonna
and I'm ready to rock and roll. Give him a little Jack Johnson, Yeah.
Truth on Tap is now flowing from iHeartRadio. Get your Kierstead fix by Googling Truth on Tap with Kevin A. Kierstead. All the truth you can handle running hot on iHeart, Facebook, Spreaker, and more. You want the truth? You can't handle the truth on Tap.
You must have bumped your head in 4 directions. Good lordy. I mean, who is this guy? It is 9:29 p.m., 7/19/15. We're going to talk a little bit about internet friends. Internet friends, I've got my thing. Apocales has his thing. Apocales, I've learned, is a bit of a fire starter, if you will. And you will, because I just did. Now, what does that mean by fire starter? Now, this has nothing to do with the friendship discussion. I haven't listened to his clip, and I'm going to do mine before his. That way there's no influence going on. Although you don't really know anything, because there's one thing that Spreaker has taught me. It's that you can't trust anybody. Anybody. But let me give you this example. So Apocales is a bit of a fire starter. Hooks me up with this guy named Noel Santucci, who I presume is a Frenchman, who seems to love Donald Trump and thinks that John McCain is a total disgrace. I'm going to share some of what he said, this Noel. Yeah, I got to share some of what he said. And I'm not going to get too crazy defending McCain, except the way I defend most military heroes who have the balls to fly into battle. And do they make mistakes? What, you think maybe? Yeah, got the bullets flying, got the tracer fire, you got the VC coming, you got the NVA coming at you. You know if you're shot down, you're going to be captured and tortured, and he was. You think that doesn't take a little bit of balls? Think that doesn't take a little bit of patriotism? We may have different views on courage and patriotism. We may. Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and say we do, Noel and I. Now, I'm not going to sit here and get in a fight with Noel. He gives lectures. Well, I'm giving a lecture right now, goddammit. And in my American military, balls are defined by patriotism, commitment to the mission, taking orders, and you must take orders. There is a hierarchy, and there's a reason for it. And being willing to die for the man next to you and the man behind you back in America who's sitting there bitching about the war in the first place. Yeah, we're willing to die for them too, because an American veteran is a man or woman who at some point in the past wrote a blank check to America for any amount up to and including that person's life. to defend America or to promote America's interests. Anywhere, everywhere, all the time, anytime. It's a young country, but we got a pretty good record. Yeah, we're pretty badass when it comes to the battlefield, I will say. And is that bragging? Maybe a little, but look how many had to die for me to get those bragging rights. Yeah, I'll brag a little on those guys. Great job, guys. Yeah, I mean, honestly, great job. Now, me being in a new position, I got to give you a little update on me, so you're not going, but Kevin, K-Tap, it has been so very long since we've heard from you. You sound old and slightly decrepit. And, you'd be right about that. And, I might sound like an old lady.
Are you all right?
Yeah, but I don't sound that bad. Now, here's the thing. Here's the thing. And there's always more than one thing. But see, since I do one thing at a time, you have a current the thing. Then you have the next the thing. You know how it goes. You are listening to a broadcast that is live from a mobile site that is outside of Studio 4. This was necessary because Studio 4, the Hispanic immigrant workers who were supposed to get all of the satellites up and everything for this important show, because it is the greatest show in the world, and I am the realest motherfucker on Spreaker, and you know this, man. Here's the thing. Not a lot is real on Spreaker, I'm learning. And it's taken me a lot of time to learn that. I didn't know that. I didn't know that. I thought people spoke what they really thought. I thought people were who they said they were. Now, that's not naive. That's just being new to podcasting, broadcasting, simulcasting, casting your fishing line. Did you see that dude that fucking had the shark in the headlock? He didn't even mean to. Look, let me tell you something, people. If you find yourself with a shark in a headlock, all I'm saying is try to bring him in, because shark skin brings some money. You've got a story to tell that will get women forever, as long as you are interested in them, assuming you are. See, that makes so many of some. Now, the Caitlyn Jenner, she doesn't want the shark because she's interested in men, and they don't care about, because now, you had a story of heroic behavior. It keeps coming back, doesn't it? My shows almost always revolve around a theme. They bounce. You ever see a sine wave? It's zoom boom, zoom boom. It's going positive voltage, and it's going negative voltage. Depends on the frequency, and then but it's always passing that baseline. We got a baseline here of heroic behavior, but not really, because I'm not promising you anything. Here at Studio 4, things are a little different. They are a little different. And, I wanted to share something with you that is kind of special to me. And it's a commercial that I came across. I might have made it myself. I don't know. Sometimes you do stuff, like you'll be in the bathroom and you look in, who put that clock up there? Did I put that clock? I guess I put that clock up there. Yeah, I might have made this commercial. But listen, here's the thing. A lot of you guys working the 9 to 5 are in your car, and you have to use the bathroom. I get it, man. I'm not actually there. If I were, I'd probably roll down the window or just go ahead and step out until you were done. But I'm there with you in thought. I know what that feels like. You've been a guy who had to use a bottle, haven't you? Maybe a gal. Gals don't really. I think their aim's a little off. I think they're afraid to use a bottle because, I don't know for sure with women. I think they could probably use a bottle. I think sometimes they have to. But, because it's so easy to mess it up if you don't have a device to aim. If you've got a device to aim, you're kind of like, okay, I got this. I can aim. But, it's like shooting a sawed-off shotgun that you've cut off right at the trigger level versus, depending on your size, a nice sniper rifle, or in my case, a 10-gauge goose gun. Yeah, I'm coming with power. I don't mess around with that small stuff. So you got that. And they have to make that sawed-off shotgun only hit a target the size of a quarter. Now, bless their hearts for that. I don't know. What do you do, women? Do you hang it out the window? I mean, what if you can't hold it? Do you go ahead and pee yourself? Come on, people. Let's admit it. Do we pee ourselves? I mean, yet you know you're going home. Okay, so maybe you got a couple people there, and they're going, "Oh, you peed yourself. This is terrible. I'm having psychological damage. This will scar me." I don't know if this is like your husband or your wife or your children or even your neighbor, maybe over. It just, you had some fresh tomatoes. It came over. "Oh, you peed yourself. This is a terrible, terrible thing. What happened? What happened to you?" "Well, I peed myself," is what happened, and it's because I was stuck in traffic and had to go, says the lady, because you cannot hit a quarter with a 10-gauge, 12-gauge cut-off shotgun that's cut off at the trigger and only hit the quarter. There's going to be collateral damage, okay? You're going to be scrubbing the radio. You're going to have things on your steering wheel you have to clean up, things like this. But then that's just the pee part. We're just talking about the pee part at this point. Let's talk about the poo-poo. All right, now I made a commercial. Now think about this. You're traveling. I'm going to be doing quite a bit of traveling here soon. Limping. My Facebook friends, if you look tonight, you probably saw the picture of my leg where I took a drill. I took a hand drill, literally, and beat on my leg and then drilled into it to show a friend that it was numb. And you're probably saying to yourself, "Kevin, medically, that doesn't really make sense. Why would you do that? Were you drunk?" No, I don't drink unless I'm in hockey games. I mean, but that might change too. I've got some challenging times coming up that are encouraging me even now. The preconceived notion is that there will be drinkage. And, because I haven't been a regular drinker, like a weekend drinker for years and years, I don't know how I'll be. I can be a tough guy. I can be a laid back. A lot of times it depends on the type of alcohol. If it's like tequila or wine, I become a true romantic. If it's whiskey or something, I'm fighting the first 50 guys I can get my hands on. It's weird how the brain, how many people do you know will not admit that we are some portion civilized human being and some portion wild animal? Why do they always try to mix them up and say, "Well, you may be struggling with some of your animal impulses, sure, but you're a civilized human, work through it"? No, the animal's there and the animal will act when it's time for the animal to act, if the animal has to. Some have better control than others. However, the animal is there, it is alive, it is strong, it is well, and it will bite the face off of somebody who hits you the wrong way, touches your child, threatens your family or your friends, reaches across the table for your steak. You'll eat face. Yeah, because, face is just like a tortilla shell, I would assume. I mean, I haven't eaten that many faces, but you cut it off. It's kind of like a coolie, I would think. It would, like kind you wrap around a beer can. There it is. There's the face. I don't know about the nose. It's like, okay, how much of the cartilage is the nostril? Because you've seen pork rinds and they have hair on it. I don't think hair's a bad thing in most cases. Hair's only a good thing if you're a guy and you need some on top of your head, or you're a lady and you have a certain special, design down there. That's pretty cool if you have that. You want to go low key on the hair. You never want to overdo it on the hair. I heard a couple of guys today on the News Guy show, and unless I heard them incorrectly, which has happened 4 times in my life, they called a hairstyle a mouffant. Yeah, that's M as in money. And that's M as in you shouldn't be making money till you know the words you're supposed to be using. Now, unless somehow, some way, there's been a social merging of the words bouffant and maybe mullet to become mouffant. Okay, they're clear in my book. Good going, guys. But I think they just got it wrong. It's bouffant. And if you don't know what a bouffant is, let's just put it this way. People with bouffants don't have a lot of candles or sources of open flame around their house because they'd become highly flammable. We're talking about Buster Poindexter. We're talking about Marge Simpson and her sisters. These people do not need to be around open flames. You understand me? Yeah, because nobody wants to be on fire. Ask Richard Pryor. Now, he had his arm stuck up an elephant's ass. That's a distraction. If you're on fire, I guarantee you, I burned myself 2 years ago when I was doing a little thing. I was trying to inflate a tire using starter fluid. And it usually works, but I did something wrong. I didn't spray a little lead in.